Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while that we've done a nice long vlog. At least I'm hoping this one's going to be one, because I've got a lot to do this week. We're doing a complete changeover of seasons. In Australia, we are right at the very tail end of winter and spring's just around the corner. I have a lot of winter patterns in shop at the moment. Those will continue to be there because I know darker jewel tones are really popular with a certain section of my customer base. So I'm still going to have those available. However, in keeping with the change of season, I want to introduce spring into my range. So there's going to be lots of softer pastel colors, there's going to be florals, and that will be across the range with my headbands as well as my scrunchies. A couple of videos ago, I had done an ASMR of cutting out some of the fabric. That's the start of my spring collection, at least with the scrunchies. But I've got lots of pastel and beautiful satin fabric from my last trip overseas, and I want to start bringing those out as well. The winter colors were an absolute hit and a lot of them have sold out. I'm hoping these pastel colors will be well received too. So let's get cracking. I didn't touch base this morning, but I finally started work on that spring collection of scrunchies. I'm going to do it in parts, so I think I'll start off with scrunchies and then move on to the wire headbands. The wire headband spring release is going to be massive with all those gorgeous fabrics that I picked up from my trip to India. I want to pace myself for that one, so that's probably going to happen next week. For this week though, like I said, I've started off with the scrunchies. These are fabrics that I've never worked with before, except for one of them, which is going to be a restock. So I thought I'd just whip up like a small sample size just to see how they turn out, if I need to make any tweaks to them, and then I'll sit and batch prep all of the rest of the colors and possibly more of these ones as well. I am so thrilled with how these have turned out. This is one of them. And you can see the colors are so gorgeous. They're like little clouds. This is another one. Wait for this one. I think I'm going to change the size on this one, but it looks absolutely stunning. And there's this floral number. Again, really cute. Not sure if you can tell. Yeah, I'm not sure if it comes across and the camera can capture the print, but really, really pretty. And then of course this one's a restock. That's what they look like. You've probably seen this one on my social media. I really, really like how this particular fabric has turned out. And that's what they look like all together. Really, really pretty. They're pastel, they're floral. If they're not floral, they're so floofy because of the nature of the fabric. I can't pick a favorite, but all I can say is they look fabulous. I can't wait for you guys to see them in person. So I just thought I'd quickly come on and show you what I got up to earlier today. So you've seen some of these yesterday. Those are what I got done yesterday. In addition, I did manage to sew up a few more colors. In addition, these are a few one-offs that were left behind, just end pieces of fabrics and such that I've decided to sew up into scrunchies. Some of them are mini, some of them are regular size, but I just wanted to get rid of that stash, so that's what I'm on to at the moment. It's been a while since we've done a bit of a chatty catch up, so I thought today would be the perfect opportunity. It's 10:31, today is Thursday. I have managed to get a fair bit done this morning. I've sewn up all of those pieces of fabric that you saw yesterday, and yeah, for this early in the morning, I'm really happy with how the day has gone so far. So while I sit and turn these out, I thought we'll just do a bit of a catch up. Now, a lot of you have probably seen that I've just prepped for my spring release, or at least part one of it. We've started introducing some of those beautiful pastel colors, the floral prints and such, and we've started off with our scrunchies. Now, while I'd love to have displays that are completely centered around one particular season or event, I find that at markets at least, and even online, I tend to sell a bit of a mixed bag. So even in the heart of winter, people will be looking for pastels and such, or in summer and spring, people will look for tones of autumn and jewel colors. So as a business, it's a bit hard to just kind of narrow down and buckle down and say, I'm just going to have spring themed colors and prints. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm a bit curious. Please excuse the noise in the background. Today is a particularly noisy day with the construction, so you'll probably hear a bit of that coming through. So like I was saying, I'm a bit curious. Do you normally dress and plan your accessories and outfits seasonally? I'm quite curious because I tend to stick to some of that, not 100% though. And well, from what I've noticed in the previous markets, my customers seem to be going that same way too. So we've got a few bits and pieces that are mixed, and I'm going to do my best to kind of make them into one cohesive display, which when you carry variety can be a bit problematic, but I'll do my best. So let me know what you think. As a small business owner, do you find that as well? That people tend to shop out of season sometimes? Also, in other news, I'm probably going to be going to Spotlight sometime soon. I've just had a quick look through my fabrics yesterday, I think it was, or maybe the day before, and I've just realized that I'm out of Halloween fabric. I've got very few bits and pieces left from last year's release, so I'm going to need to go and pick up some spooky gear. If any of you are wondering how I plan my releases, is at the start of the year, Jan and Feb. I find locally we're a bit low on markets. Jan is when everyone takes literally, I think, the month off from markets. Small businesses, small business owners are using that time to recover from the madness that is the holiday sale. Some of them still have their Boxing Day sales, end of season sales and such, but most markets don't operate in Jan. I think it's also because school holidays are on and a lot of folks are traveling, so footfall might not be easy to predict. And what I do is I take that time to plan my calendar for the year. I sit and I brainstorm on the kind of releases that I'd like to have through the year, and I put them down on either an Excel sheet. I start off with a notepad and then that goes into my calendar, so I know during the year what I'm looking at doing. So for me, on that schedule, first is my spring release, which will happen this week and the next, followed by my Halloween or my spooky season release. And I think I'm tracking pretty well with time, and that has helped me so much, because in the past when I didn't have sort of schedule of releases and drops in mind and noted down, I would tend to leave things to the last minute and completely forget about them or leave it till too late. and that obviously reflects in the kind of sales that you get. So just a tip, if you're someone that's struggling to release things on time, make a note of it, put it in your calendar, and see if that helps. So I'm just going to continue flipping these the right side out, and I'll catch up with you once these are done. Just for those of you who are curious, the fabric glue that I use is just temporary, just to hold the elastic in place while I can sew over it using the sewing machine. That's a more permanent solution. This is just temporary. So I've just sewn all the elastics shut, and now all that's left is to trim the elastics down and finish up the seams. I'm also going to quickly grab some lunch because I'm starving, and yeah, I'll see you after that. With that, this bunch should be ready to go then. And that's a snapshot of all the scrunchies that we got done. So we managed to finish up those scrunchies, and now all that's left is to pack them up and they're ready to go. I think I'm gonna end this video right here. If you've followed along and you've watched this far, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, while I have you here, do you enjoy watching video footage of the actual sewing process at the sewing machine? I'm not 100% sure that that's something that you might like, because it can come across as a little bit repetitive because there's not much variation in what happens there. However, if that's something you enjoy, let me know and I will include that in future videos. Anyway, thank you again so much for joining today. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And I'll see you really soon in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.